Sultanahmet Mosque, which was constructed by the 14th Ottoman Sultanahmet I, who ruled between the years of 1603-1617, is the greatest and the most splendid mosque of Istanbul. The construction of the mosque was started in 1609 by architect Mehmet Aga, who was a student of architect Sinan and who undertook the architectural works of the structure, and the construction was completed in 1616. The premises consisted of a madrasa, a hospital, an arista bazaar, a school, a mausoleum, a caravanserai and a public fountain together with the mosque, the hospital, and the caravanserai were damaged in 19th century. Sultanahmet Mosque is the last impressive structure of Ottoman religious architecture, although many other mosques were built after this one, none of them reached to the dimension and to the elegance of the decorations of Sultanahmet Mosque. The 21,043 tile pieces used for the inner decoration of the mosque were brought from the palace workshops in Iznik. The silk carpets on the floor of hundreds of square meters were brought from selected weaving centers, and hundreds of crystal oil lamps used for illumination were imported. It is known that the leading administrators of the state donated many valuable gifts, especially the handwritten Qurans, after the completion of the mosque. Sultanahmet Mosque is the only mosque with 6 minarets in Istanbul and in Turkey, and that make it matchless among other Ottoman mosques. Hagia Sophia, which was accepted as the greatest and most sacred piece of the city during the Byzantine Age, is today a museum that the visitors admire as an unrivaled architecture masterpiece. Hagia Sophia is a Roman monument constructed in the Byzantine Age, despite the new techniques and inventions in architecture during the 800 years period from the construction of the church till the demolition of the empire. No other building could be constructed to surpass Hagia Sophia. Hagia Sophia, which was used as a church for 916 years since the date it was constructed until the date when Istanbul was conquered, as of this date until the year of 1934, served the Muslims as a mosque for 481 years, after an extended restoration with the instruction given by the founder of the Republic of Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, in order to bring the Byzantine mosaic which were coated with stucco in 1750 into daylight. The building was opened to the visitors as a museum in February 1935, and it is the third museum which is most visited in Turkey. The name of Hagia Sophia is one of the 3 adjectives dedicated to the god in Christianity. These 3 adjectives are defined as Hagia Sophia, divine wisdom; Hagia Irene, divine peace; and Hagia Dynamis, divine power. In 360, the Byzantine Emperor Constantine had a great structure named Megaloecclesia, the Great Church, constructed in the city center, where Hagia Sophia is standing today. The best construction material and the best masons were brought to the city from all over the country, and for 5 years, over 100 masters and 10,000 laborers worked in the construction. The marble used for the inner decoration of the church were transported from all the Mediterranean countries, and especially from the marble quarries in Anatolia. The 4 green granite columns on both sides of the nave were brought from the Harbor Gymnasium in Ephesus. The pairs of porphyry columns at the corners were brought from the Apollon Temple in Baalbek, Lebanon today. After the conquest of Istanbul by Mehmed the Conqueror at 1453, construction of the Topkapi Palace was started at the year 1460 and completed at 1478. Palace was built upon a 700,000 square meters area on an eastern Roman acropolis located at the Istanbul Peninsula between Sea of Marmara, Bosphorus and the Golden Horn. Topkapi Palace was the administrative, educational and art center of the empire for nearly 400 years since Mehmed the Conqueror until Sultan Abdülmecid, who is the 31st Sultan. Although palace was abandoned by the Ottoman dynasty by moving to the Dolmabahce Palace at middle 19th century, Topkapi Palace was protected its importance every time. After the establishment of the Republic of Turkey, Topkapi Palace was transformed into a museum at the date April 3, 1924, and it was also the first museum of the Republic of Turkey. Topkapi Palace Museum is covering approximately 400,000 square meters at the present day. Topkapi Palace divided from the city from the land side by the imperial walls, which is made by Mehmed the Conqueror. It divided from the city also from the sea side by the Byzantine walls. Topkapi Palace is one of the biggest palace museums with its architectural structures, collections and approximately 300,000 archive papers. There are surroundings like gardens and squares around the palace. Palace, which its main gate located at the Hagia Sophia side, has 4 courtyards which has passages between them. The Galata Tower, Galata Kulesi in Turkish, is one of the city's most striking landmarks. It is a high, cone-capped cylinder that dominates the skyline and offers a panoramic vista of Istanbul's historic peninsula and its environs. The Romanesque-style tower was built as Christiaturas or Tower of Christ, in 1348 during an expansion of the Genoese colony in Constantinople. Galata Tower was the tallest building in Istanbul at 219.5 feet, 66.9 meters when it was built in 1348. It was built to replace the old Tower of Galata, an original Byzantine tower named Megalos Pyrgos, in English Great Tower, which controlled the northern end of the massive sea chain that closed the entrance to the Golden Horn. That tower was on a different site and was largely destroyed in 1203. During the Fourth Crusade of 1202 till 1204, the upper section of the tower with the conical cap was slightly modified in several restorations during the Ottoman period when it was used as an observation tower for spotting fires.